Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Lady Yo, welcome to So Serious Gaming, and today I'm going to be showing you an in-depth look at the Predator's Mark shotgun build I showed you in a previous video. I've slightly improved upon it now, it's still nowhere near where I want it. We'll start with a holster, because that's a 240, so I could ideally do with getting that to a 268, but the rolls on it aren't so bad. The electronics could be a little bit higher, but it's got armor on it, it's got pulse critical hit damage, and I use pulse most of the time, so that's perfect for me. Ideally, I would like to have Savage gloves. They're the gloves I mainly use, because they just give me a higher DPS than my Savage. My Savage are a 204. That's the best drop I've ever had on Savage gloves, ever, and it's a dreadful drop, so that gives you an indication why I use them as opposed to them normally. But I'm using the Predator's Mark gloves. They come with crit chance, crit damage and shotgun damage, and then 10% pulse critical hit damage. And the Firearms roll's decent. It could be better, but you know, it's decent. It's going to hold me for now until I can get maybe some Savage gloves with shotgun damage and then crit chance and crit damage on them. So I can't complain too much. They do the business. This is just a filler at the minute. Ideally, I want to get a backpack. The backpack I have is it's got electronics rolled on it and then skill haste. It's just a bad roll in general. It's just not worth me using. So I'm just using this Lone Star. The reason I'm using this Lone Star is because it came with such a high stamina roll, and then it came with a super high skill power roll as well. So I just figured, yeah, it's definitely the best one for me to go for, because as you can see, like, you know, yeah, that's you know, it's got a decent stamina roll, but it's skill haste, it's not skill power. So yeah, that's why I went with that. On my chest piece, I'm using Vigorous. I always use Vigorous. I'd rather use Vigorous over Reckless any day of the week. For me, Reckless is just a waste. Now, I did have a 229 Vigorous chest piece, and for my lose, I kind of sold it. Yeah, I really felt like crying because of that. But this 204 is decent. Like, it's got a decent roll on it. I'm currently using stamina mods, one with crit chance, one with skill power. Then I've got exotic damage resilience, which is ideally what I would go for, because with this build, the way that I'm looking to set it up, I won't be using final measure. So just getting this exotic damage resilience to roll on it is definitely going to help. And again, with the mask, as always, it's got skill power on it. I'd never get anything on my mask or backpack that is not skill power. For me, it's just the best attribute you can go for. I mean, you can get crit damage if you want, but for me, skill power is definitely the best one to go for. And then the Kneepads, again, stamina roll, shock resistance, burn resistance, disrupt resistance. Ideally, I would like to get these with skill attributes for pulse, as opposed to things like ballistic shield health, because I don't really use a ballistic shield, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, on the chest piece, I'm using 2 stamina mods, as I showed you already. Again, stamina mod on the mask with skill power. Stamina mod with signature ability resource gain. It's only 3%, so it doesn't make much of a difference, but it does help. And again, stamina mod for the crit hit chance. Ideally, when this is finished, I would have that as a 229, and I would have some 229 Savage gloves. Firearms, I would like to get to about 3400 and keep the stamina around the 3400 mark. If I could improve both those numbers, it'd be great, but I would accept that either way. Now, the primary is actually going to be the shotgun. It's 111k base damage, and the extended magazine I'm using is 12.5% weapon damage. So that adds another just under 14,000k to the damage of the weapon. So this is essentially 125,000 damage per shot, and then it's rolled with brutal, deadly and fierce. Now, if I'm running Alpha Bridge, I run this as my second shotgun. Swift, responsive and competent. It's 100k damage, so it has got a good chunk less damage than this one, which is why I used this for my main gun. But yeah, the secondary weapon I will either use like my MP7 or the G36. Generally, what I run with my Firecrest is my MP7 for my main, and then my M870 for clearing NPCs, whereas with this build I use that for PvP, and then I use my G36 for PvE. And then my pistol is a 229x45, 14.4k damage with expert and harmful. I love harmful on a pistol because you can just whip it out, fire a few rounds, get the bleed effect and stop them. However, I'm using Predator's Mark, so that's kind of irrelevant. So yeah, I mean, that about wraps it up. I mean, the numbers are decent. It's not perfect. It is nowhere near min-maxed. But it's an improvement on what I had. I mean, the gloves I was using before was actually them. I was using the same gloves I use on my main build all the time. It's SMG damage, so it wasn't much use for the shotgun build. But, you know, it's getting there now. It's getting to where I want it to be. The Predator's Mark drops have been a little bit slow, but fingers crossed that'll improve soon. And I can bring you an even more up-to-date video for the build with much better stats, but still 411k toughness and, you know, just under 27k skill power. And, well, I don't really watch the DPS meter because that meter likes to lie a lot, so I just tend to look as long as the base damage is good and things like the crit chance and crit damage are good and the headshot damage are good, then I'm happy. That's what I watch for. Anything else for me, like the DPS numbers, just is kind of irrelevant. Sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not, but, you know, as long as these numbers stack up, then that's all that matters. But yeah, I'm going to play a few clips for you guys. I know I didn't use a shotgun much last time, and I apologise about that. A few of you mentioned it in the comments, and rightly so. But this time, I assure you, it's all with the shotgun. And you will see it just dropping people, you will see it proccing bleed on people, you will see how effective that bleed is. Now, the guy I'm teamed up with, you will notice he has a 224 gear score, and I was like, what the hell, this guy's going to have a hard time in the 231 plus bracket. But it turned out he was actually just working on a new build and he just dropped his numbers a little bit. But he held his own, man. He did well, he did really well. He actually come up clutch and saved my ass a few times. I have to admit, he saved my ass a few times, and you will see it in one of these clips. Now, those two guys tried to jump us and it just ended badly for them. You know, the shotgun hit hard enough to say goodnight. Now this clip you will see how effective the bleed is. You will see these guys in a moment. The bleed will proc on them and they have a really hard time with it. They just start rolling all over the place. They don't know what to do. But yeah, the guy that I was teamed up with, basically I'm in a Facebook group for Upper Echelon Gaming. Some of you may know the YouTube channel. Now the Facebook group's an awesome place. It's full of people that are willing to team up for the DZ incursions, whatever it is, give advice, share ideas, experiences. It's just a chilled out place. No toxicity, no toxic attitudes, anything like that. It's just, you know, mature, chilled out people that like to have a laugh and a good time and enjoy the game. And they want to help others, you know, they want to help people improve. At the end of the day, if we help people improve, more people will stick to the game, which keeps the game alive for those of us that enjoy it. So, you know, it's a win-win really. So I'll leave a link in the description to that Facebook group. Go check it out because it's definitely worth it. But yeah, basically I put a post up on there stating, you know, my group's open, feel free to join, that's my gamer tag. And this guy joined and we decided, you know, we were just running around, we weren't communicating because I don't know if he has a mic or if it was broken or if game chat was screwing up a little bit for me as well. But we was basically just running around, we farmed a little bit, we had some good extractions, we killed a load of rogues, we went rogue and survived a few times. Like, we had a really good time actually, it was really cool. Now, please don't have a go at me and say that I was like jumping somebody for the sake of just being a dick. Like, it was not like that. That guy went up, one of them actually, I don't know if it was him or this guy, but one of them went up to Monkey and looked at his gear score and he was just like, oh, hello, Monkey. Like, all sinister sounding and stuff, and I just didn't like it. It just felt to me like he had an ulterior motive with it, and yeah, I wasn't cool with that. So it was a case of, yeah, you've got to die now, man. You've just got to die. You don't do that. So yeah, that's why this happened. But yeah, I mean, this build, man, it's just a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I really enjoy using it. Like, it's not it doesn't put out the most damage, but it still hurts. It does still hurt, but it's fun. It's the bleed that just makes it so much fun. And yeah, I trolled myself here. Like, you see, I went down. I was just desperate to get that thing out because I was like, well, you acted like a dick, and my backpack flashed green, so I want to get your teal out, bro. And yeah, you'll see in a moment. It turned out there was no teal. There was like 3 yellow items, I think there was. So it was like, I just trolled myself. So yeah, I kind of felt like crying a little bit, but nah, it's cool. It's not like I don't have enough teals to deal with. But yeah, like, I revive him here, and then we move on, and then it's his turn to return the favour. These two guys, like, we could have fought them here, but the NPCs were giving me a really hard time. And as you can see, I'm down to 1 medkit, so for me it was like, move away from the NPCs, get away from them, and you know, try and position yourself in a place where you know you've got an advantage. Like here, they'd be funneled in. I've got a shotgun for relatively close range, and there's no NPCs on me. But they didn't come that way, so I thought, well, we'll move up the street in case they come down the other way. We'll go set up down on the truck here, and we can pick them off whichever way they decide to come from. But again, NPCs behind us decided, no, you're not allowed to do that, and we had to move up again, but we're trapped between players and NPCs behind us, so it was like, well, run back and see what we can do, but I have no medkits, so yeah, I went down. But look at this, man, like, how clutch this is. Look at his health, and he got his heal off just in time, and he revives me, and look, there's players there. Like, look how clutch that was. Like, massive respect to that guy. And then it was just game over for these two. Like, I dropped this guy, and Monkey drops the other guy, and yeah, that was it. Like, game over. But yeah, that about wraps it up for this video, guys. I hope this showed off the build a lot better for you than the previous video. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you in another video. Peace out.